Good evening, everybody. I'm already hitting wrong buttons, so it's the way the show's going to go tonight, apparently. Welcome to the all red logos tonight. We're trying something a little different. How's it going, everybody? I'm Chris the Batman Statue Collector. Welcome back to Rogues Gallery Live. This is episode number 171. I am joined by this dude right here from the Bat Vault. We got Matt Martin in the house. How's it going, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing? I hope everybody's doing good. It'd be good to talk about the Prime 1 event. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Billy joined me the other night when we got to watch that. What was it, last Friday? A lot of fun hanging out with everybody. And yeah, saw some good stuff. Saw some stuff that maybe people are interested in, not as interested in, but it'll be fun to talk about it tonight. And we also have, of course, Eric B. from All Things Art. How's it going, sir?
Doing good. How's everyone doing? Sorry I missed the last show. And yeah, that 0 year piece looks really great behind you. Definitely jealous of that one.
Thank you. It is one of those pieces where you really have any of you guys seen it in person?
I haven't seen it in person. No.
It's nuts. Like, it looks just so much better in person than it does. Like, I feel like it's really washed out on camera, but you get a little bit better sense. I put the review out today to the members, and it's just a really impressive piece. I have no idea where I'm going to put it, so that's the problem.
I had a little bit of an idea for that piece. Whenever you want to get a chance, I could tell you real quick.
Well, let's talk about it. What are you thinking?
All right. So your side shelves are strictly 1/3. Because that piece is like a transition piece between like 1/4 and 1/3. What if you started that as like the last piece on the row and then slowly transitioned back into 1/4, like say towards like the end of your shelf?
Kind of move everything down that way.
Just a transition. I mean, that would only work on one side, I guess, but
that's not a bad idea. Especially if I did it on both sides, maybe I put Batman and Killer Croc on this side. I don't know, maybe. I don't know if you watched the unboxing or not, but Dan and I were on there and we were talking a little bit about what I could do with the sides. And he kind of had the idea, and we've talked about it, is kind of like paneling these off.
Yep.
And I could do that with like, command strips or whatever. So it wouldn't necessarily have to be permanent. But then he even went to say, like, then do garage shelves. And we measured,
well, that was your original plan, to do like the double tier.
Right. And I think that might solve some of my problems. But I reached out to Dan the other day and I asked him about the shelf height. So the top of the black area right here, that's 44 and 0.25 inches tall. Okay. And the top of his shelf, if I got the Sam's Club ones, which like he did the highest setting on his, you can't adjust it, but the highest setting on his is 35.5. So that would give me almost 10 inches of separation. So there might be some blockage.
I like that. Because here's what you could do too, Chris. Going with that feature that, with respect, it's not permanent, it's movable, and, you can still have one day if you change your mind or whatever. But to cover up that bottom, you could just do like command strips and just do like a black, just like a black, like a drapery or something, to kind of cover the bottom, and then do the shelves in front of it. Nobody would ever know. That way you can put extra stuff behind, the kind of curtain or whatever and things like that, switch outs or whatever you wanted, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thing. Well, and I thought if anything, just cover up one little area, buy one shelf, and just see what I think, see what it looks like. I don't think there'd be any harm in that. Especially like to accommodate pieces like this. A lot of people think I should, like Dan even said, like just get a couch and just enjoy the middle of the room and not have stuff in the middle. Which I like the stuff in the middle just because it does look better on camera, I think, especially like, for the channel. But just for, a personal collection, a couch would be really nice too. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it'd be worth it to go to Sam's Club and just buy one. And then just set it up real quick. Take you 10 minutes, set it up and see what it looks like.
Yep. And I like the idea too of like, maybe having some panels between the shelf and that I could put a piece of art, between each one.
You could do that too.
Yeah. So that'd be pretty cool. But I really like Eric's idea too of kind of tearing it up, along the edge. I think that would probably look really great actually.
Actually, I like your idea. What you just said better. Matt actually had a good idea with the curtain. Like, so if you put the curtain, block
do
the
the curtain.
back, and then put the garage shelf in front of it. This way, you don't see that white, or your walls are gray. This way, you don't see like the gray space through the.
Yeah, and then it's a good storage area because
Yeah.
you can always just do the curtains, put extra switch outs, whatever you want to. You know, art, whatever, you're swapping out art, and it's not permanent. You know, you can, type thing like that. So
yeah, so it's definitely worth a try. I mean, again, I've got these big pieces that I don't. Right, this is where it's going to live for the time being. So that's what I told Dan the other night. I'm like, you're going to see this on camera for a while because I don't know where to put it.
Well, you got Throne coming, just like me. We both got Throne coming, so they're on the same boat, I'm sure. So
yep.
You'll probably get yours first because you're closer, to Cali than me. So yeah.
And you still don't have tracking yet, though, on yours, right?
No, I still don't have tracking.
Yeah, nothing on that. I did get a notification. Okay, so you got to hear this story. Okay, so I think this is really hilarious. So you guys know, and I asked you guys, and I asked the Facebook group about this piece right here. Okay, so this is the Dark Knight Returns piece. It's called Dead End, and it is based on the cover of Jim Lee. And this is I think $1,400 statue plus shipping.
Yep.
It is quarter scale. It is it's 61 centimeters deep. So it is a really large base. And the crazy thing is that that's another piece. I'm like, where the hell am I going to put it? I do like it a lot. I love that it's Jim Lee art.
Yep.
And, so I posed it to you guys and I said, what do you think? Billy, I can't remember if you chimed in. What do you think about this one? Like, is this something that you think is a cool piece, or do you think it's just kind of
It's definitely cool, but and I like that story, but I'm not much of a Robin person, especially
Me either.
Especially her. It does look good, but right.
That's it.
That's not my Robin. So
yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, I don't like Robin as it is, and for me, it's Dick Grayson. So.
So anyway, I decided through everybody's advice and thinking on my own, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bite the bullet. I'm gonna cancel, but I'm gonna see if I can get the deposit back because I've had 4 cancellation notices, or not cancellation, delay notices. Like we're having issues with our factory and blah blah blah, and I've been getting these for the last year. And I'm like, I'm a patient person, like whatever. So I reached out to Prime One and I said, I understand if I can't get it back, but I would like to ask if I can because of the multiple delays. Sideshow does that. Well, they'll give you back your deposit. Some companies will, some won't. That's fine. No, non-refundable deposit. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I never count on getting it back. And I did get a response back pretty quickly. Usually it's like the next morning from Japan. And they said, we could definitely cancel it for you. No problem. But you can't get your deposit back. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay. So, but I did say in the reply, I'd like to cancel. And I understand about the cancellation fee, but I did say as a customer, I am frustrated that you will not refund the money with multiple delays.
Yeah.
So I just said my piece, but I'm like, I understand. It's policy is policy.
Yep.
So get this. So I got that, 2 or 3 days ago, right?
Yep.
That there's a delay and there's a factory problem. I get an email today from Prime One that responds and says, are you sure you want to cancel? Because it will now be shipping within the next 3 weeks.
Whoa.
I'm like, what? You just literally 2 days ago sent me an email saying that there's factory issues and there's quality control and there's a delay. So I don't know if I beat the drum a little bit. I don't know, but regardless. So I got the thing that says, you need to click the final payment, fee thing, and blah, blah, blah. So I did respond to them again today. And I said, I just want to cancel it.
Because you and I have Tactical coming and Killer Croc right behind it.
Correct.
I think they're going to be on the same boat, the way the emails came through and all that. They'll probably be on the same boat.
Yeah, I think there's a really good chance. So anyway, I just thought that was so crazy. Like, why would you send that email out to everybody saying there's factory problems and then say 3 weeks later, I don't know.
Yes.
There's no guarantee it ships in 3 weeks. That might have just been, that might have just been to buy themselves some more time, and then you'll complain again. And
yeah.
Or it could have just been a standard excuse they tell everybody when there's a delay.
It could be. I mean, maybe that would give me peace of mind so I don't cancel, because if I cancel, that costs them a sale.
Right. And then 3 weeks will pass and you'll forget about it. Then 2 weeks more will pass. And then maybe you'll remember. And then you can't get around to emailing them. And, so it stretches out. And then you're like, I want to cancel. You told me 3 weeks. Then just be like, all right, cancel it. You're not getting your deposit back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't love the idea of canceling, but I'm just like, we talked before about the fact that sometimes the excitement builds. You want a statue, but it's that statue was shown at Comic-Con in 2022.
Man.
And so it's, almost April of 2025. It's pretty crazy. And so some of that excitement dies down after a while. I mean, if they had shipped it a year ago, I probably would have bought it and kept it.
Yeah.
To be honest. But
I think if you really wanted it, you'd wait. The fact that you're tired of waiting, you don't really want it.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, I just kept watching the old videos and I saw it was right next to the Hush Poison Ivy and it was just dwarfed by the Hush Ivy. I'm like, I don't think it's going to work. So hopefully my cancellation gives somebody else on the wait list an opportunity. I'm hoping. Because I know that there are people waiting for that one. The edition size was not very big.
Yeah, I think it was 100.
Yeah, it was not very big.
Because my wait list converted. I had the opportunity one time, like a few months ago. Then I was like, man, you know what? Same thing. It's like, it just kind of wore off for me, type thing like that,
Yeah. So I don't know. It was, it was kind of a tough decision, but at the same time, I think it's kind of a little bit of peace of mind that I don't have to worry about the cost anymore. So we'll see. We'll see. No Dan or Delaney. So Dan just emailed us about 30 minutes ago saying he can't come on. And Delaney, I don't know if he'll be on or not. I know that today he's playing a farmer, which is very exciting.
Hollywood.
He's gone Hollywood. He's on another big show that's coming out soon. I can't say what it is.
Yep.
But he's gone complete Hollywood. He is. Yeah.
Well,
Hollywood.
I think between the four of us, we can talk about that Prime 1 stuff, like what are we getting and things like that. What's a definite and what's a maybe and all that jazz.
Absolutely. Theodore says Eric's head looking nice and shiny tonight. I like it. It's got the extra light on him. I like it. That's right. Yeah, freshly shaved.
He was painting Mr. Freeze, so he was inspired, and now,
Man, I tell you, that Freeze, the paint job you did on that, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I was like, what is he painting at first? And then because I saw the thing with the red eyes, I was like, who is he painting an insect or something like that? And then I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, so yeah.
My mic's not even on. Sorry. I wanted to do like what Sideshow did with their Freeze, to where it has like the glow in the dark, like UV goggles. So I added that. It looks really cool. Actually, looks better than what Sideshow did.
Let's see. These are still like the little heads, right?
Yeah, the 1/3. The Freeze is the last one. I'm almost done with it.
I saw somebody else they had a painting video out that was like a more of a figure of Freeze. I think it was a custom something or other.
So those are
yours looked way better.
Yeah, those are sculpted by Franco Carlissimo, and he actually shared that today, that Mr. Freeze, which was really cool. So I was like, thank you for sharing that. So he has like a huge following.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite one you painted so far. Like, it just the difference in color, like it just really popped.
The blues and the face look real cool.
Thank you.
So is that the only one you painted?
No, I did Batman, Catwoman.
No, I mean Freeze. Is that the only Freeze that you painted? So like it's amazing to me, like, because like for me, like to do a video like that, I would probably have to go through 10 of them before I got it right. Like it's amazing that you could just go right out of the gate and make it look like that,
Oh, sometimes you just do video magic and pretend like you got it right on the first try.
Right. Yeah. But I was like, that's really awesome that you could do that. Like that's a lot of talent. So I just it's really fun to watch those.
Thank you. I redid that one about 2 or 3 times.
Well, speaking of freeze, do you want to do a shameless plug, Chris? You're trying to sell your Mr. Freeze?
Oh yes, if anybody is interested in my Mr. Freeze, basically I'm selling it for $1,300 plus shipping. So wherever you guys are, if you're interested in my Mr. Freeze, I've had a couple of people reach out that they're maybe they're kind of trying to get some funds. And that's usually the story I get from most people. It's like, I'm trying to sell a couple things before I do it, and blah blah blah. And that's fine. I get it. It's hard to sell right now, but yeah, I'm selling Mr. Freeze. Some people love the new one. Some people still, by far, still prefer the Arkham one. So, it's whatever you're interested in. I'm definitely interested in getting the new one. And so, yeah, Mr. Freeze is for sale if anybody's wanting it. And yeah, $1,300 plus shipping. So, yeah. Curtis says I should keep it. I think they'll both work together very well. I just don't think I need two, right? Don't need two.
Yeah, I'm eyeing that new one still. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that it might grow. I mean, it might grow on you. And obviously what we saw wasn't a final product. It is a, work in progress type of thing. It hasn't been approved yet. But at the same time, I think we'll probably get some swap outs.
Yep.
Dan and I were talking the other night. Do you guys think that, I do, but do you guys think that they would do just an individual freeze with a modified base?
I don't think so. I was talking to Dan today. He called me and we were just catching up. And I said, Dan, I don't see him doing that though. And the reason why, he said, well, Matt, it's going to be too much, And I said, well, then I said, well, that dog alien, that XL dog alien, that thing is like 3 feet high. And I was thinking it was going to be like 28, 29, hit the $3,000 mark. It came in at 22. So I said, hey, they could surprise us. But then I said, and not to say it in a bad way, but their confidence in DC is not 100%, let's just say. So I think it's going to be a smaller edition size. And that's why I said, well, I don't see them doing one without Nora, because DC is not selling to their liking right now, put it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I could be wrong. I mean, they could, I
know it's going to be interesting to see what they do. It'll also depend on when it goes up for pre-order. If it doesn't go up for pre-order for another year, then it's going to be even more expensive. I think so the sooner the better for us.
Yeah, I think they got to get it for pre-order this year for sure. I think it's got to go up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Anthony, $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. That really is awesome. Salute, gentlemen. Been on the wait list for almost a year now for Batman Dead End statue. I might try and grab it from another site if possible. So again, Anthony, if you're on the wait list at Prime 1, I am canceling mine. So you might be the next one on the list. I don't know.
Yeah.
So again, thank you very much for the super chat, and fingers crossed you get one. And that's the thing is, like, anymore, if you want a statue, you're going to be able to find it.
Yep.
It's like, it might not be tomorrow. It might be a year from now, but somebody will sell it at some point and you'll get it.
Yeah.
It's just, sometimes we have to be Thor Gunderson patient. And that's, that's the key to this hobby, is have to wait sometimes, have to wait. Yeah. Curtis says, I think this will be the last Mr. Freeze. I think certainly from Prime 1.
Mm-hmm.
Are you surprised that they didn't do it quarter scale versus third?
I was surprised at that. I'll give them that.
What about you guys?
You never know. They might re-release it in the future in 1/4.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
You think it would be smart if they did it at the same time? I feel like it. I just don't feel like it would.
No.
When you give choices like that, one will do well and the other one won't.
Yeah,
it's a good point. So anyway, that's kind of the new stuff that's that we've been talking about. Obviously, again, the massive Mr. Freeze sell-off, which is really funny. Somebody put that in the Facebook group, which I thought was pretty great. Followed up by once again asking for your financial support. That's right. So somebody out there, buy my Mr. Freeze so I can take that the headache away. Although I do have blurriness here. There we go. I don't know if Or what I was going to say is with the cancellation of the dead end statue, at least I'll have a little bit of money now to put toward the new freeze. So
yeah. I'm surprised you're selling it so quickly. Like, what happens if it gets canceled, or even if it gets made, it's gonna be like 2 years from now. It's
mine isn't going anywhere right now.
Well, then I'll buy it again.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, how often is this Mr. Freeze up? You know, like even this one's pretty scarce.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like,
I should say scarce at a decent price. I've seen it go for ridiculous money, and I think people who list those know that no one's going to buy it. You know,
yeah,
so they really want to sell it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like I'm pricing it to sell it. You know, to get it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I could easily charge $2,000 for it, and sit on it for 5 years. I don't care, but I'd like it to go to somebody that could use it and appreciate it. So we'll see. I mean, I could hold on to it for a while, and if it doesn't sell now, I am going to keep it for a while. I mean, I'll keep it until whatever. But I don't know. I'm somebody that always like panics a little bit with money, and like I'm like I just want to have that money ready and available for the pre-order because I don't do payment plans. I just have all the money sitting in an account waiting for the final value or final sale. So I don't know. I'm a little crazy. Does anyone like the Arkham Freeze better than this one? I think I've heard a number of people say that they do. This one is more of a, I don't know. Would you say maybe more realistic? I mean, it's kind of a real life looking Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Very, very tech, like his whole suit's armor and metal. It's very well done.
Yeah, I still like the Arkham piece just because of the pose. My problem with the new pieces, I feel like Freeze looks a little off because he's not looking at Nora, and like the way you did the video on it that they're doing this next level thing. The details are like so incredible. It almost looks like a little bit too much going on. Like it almost reminds me of like a Transformers. It's just like layer upon layer upon layer on his suit. But I mean, it looks absolutely amazing in detail. But I don't know if I think I have to see it in person or bigger pictures of it.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more, for sure. So we'll see. I mean, time will tell. Sorry, Brandon says anyone rogues going to StatueCon in August. Eric, I see you were advertised. Are you heading to StatueCon?
I think Billy is. He's my representative.
Oh, okay. So Billy, maybe you're going.
I'm trying. Because like Eric, I take vacation in August. So, I mean, if I do go, it's not going to be for all 4 days. It's just going to be like probably the Saturday and maybe some of Sunday. But I was talking to Marcos, and he's got a lot of good things planned. There's looks like a fun couple of days.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get it to grow, and he's bringing in a ton of people. Have a couple of people from Sideshow. Will Harbottle is going to be there, which is exciting. I would love to meet him. Marcos has asked me a couple times about it, and I had messaged him back that the problem is I'm back to work in August. I go back in late July. So if it had been like the middle of July, I probably would have had a pretty good shot at trying to come. But August, I'm back to work full time, so it's just really difficult. Plus, my kids are in sports at that time already, and so it's just tough. But I hope that everybody gets to have a great time, and I hope to make it to one of those.
That's kind of like what he was talking about. Is like all the events and stuff are fun, and just talking to people who went, it's more like everyone just kind of is in one spot. Like you got the COC guys, and you got casual nerd guys. Like everyone's there just mingling, talking, just people that or you watch, and now you actually get to hang out for a couple of days.
Yeah, I think that's, obviously a lot of the YouTubers are going to want to go and film. Mm-hmm. But again, the problem with that is everybody's got the exact same footage. So it's like, that's not great. I mean, it's great for obviously Marcos. I mean, people have eyes on product. But really to me, it's just really a hangout. I mean, that's really and that's again, what we talk about. That's the best part. Like every time we've all hung out, that's the best part is, the con's great. Statues are great, but it's really just the times we get to hang out and have some dinner, or have a drink, or go on Velocicoaster and lose our lunch, which that happened. Yes, it did. Anyway, I don't remember what else somebody was asking. Let's see if I have it. I don't know. Well, let's move on to our first topic for tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about thoughts on the Prime 1 Next Level Showcase. Again, me and I have an idea about Billy's thoughts. Definitely want to pick the brains of Eric and Matt. But did you guys have a chance to go back and watch it? I guess Matt, you were watching live over at Jimmy's channel.
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
I thought we were going to see one DC thing. I said, oh, hey, they're going to give us something, you know what I'm saying? Type thing like that. But I was surprised that they gave us, the Berserk and then the Batman Who Laughs, with the Robin, with the Robins that XM basically didn't make and everything. I would say day one pre-order for me would be the Mr. Freeze. And I'm leaning toward the Berserk. I want to see more, but I think the Berserk is so unique and it's got that oh shit factor, you know what I'm saying? So where people be like, oh, what is that? When they like go into your room or your cave or whatever, it's like, oh, what is that? Type thing like that. So definitely Freeze, Berserk, and then the Jungle. The Wolf Predator will be a day one for me.
It's a great piece. And I know we were talking, you called me the other morning, Matt. I think it was, what was it? Saturday morning.
It's Saturday. Yep.
And, we were talking a little bit about that Berserk piece. Did you see the picture of it next to the Lord of the Rings Soren piece? I have it for pictures later.
Yeah.
But I mean, that Soren is a third scale.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty big piece.
It's up there. It's up there.
I don't know if it's third. I think it still might be fourth, but I can't tell.
Yeah, their website says fourth.
Okay.
It says fourth, but I think it's going to be a big four. I think it's going to be kind of a hybrid in between, type thing like that. But no, I think with all the switch outs that you can get, and of course everybody's they love to switch out with the blood with the big axe, but that one where he's got the sword and he's like in front of it and it's like, got the blood dripping down and it's in the base.
You look great.
That one. I love that one. And then you talk about the base. I mean, Bane, you know what I'm saying? I mean, once I saw Bane, I was like, is that Bane? And, type thing. And then they said, yeah, this is Bane, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just made it even better for me, type.
Which one do you think will be more expensive, that or Freeze?
Oh, that's a hard one.
I know it is.
And that is a real, I would not bet money on it. But I think, because that's kind of a,
probably Freeze because you get two characters now.
Yeah, I'd say Freeze. I'd say Freeze because of the cylinder with Nora, you know what I'm saying, type thing. And it's going to be a light up. So, I mean.
Yeah, probably so.
But that would be tough. I would not bet money on it, put it that way.
Eric, what have you had a chance to watch the whole show, or do you just kind of like watch recap bits and pieces?
I cheated a little bit. Delaney posted all the photos in his group, so instead of watching the show, I just looked through the photos. I don't know, like it's a lot of whatever it was, gaming stuff, anime stuff that I'm not really interested in. And then the DC stuff, besides Freeze, it's like they keep doing like these oddball pieces, and it's always like, why? I mean, as cool as they look, it's like, why are they doing that and not like other characters? But yeah, I think they look cool. I like. Although that Batman Who Laughs, I forget what it was like, the King
Batman Who Laughs,
King, yeah.
I really like what XM did better as far as concept goes. With whatever his pose with the Robins on the bottom versus the Prime one. But again, two different scales. But I thought it was cool. And like Matt was saying, I really love that effect that they did with the blood dripping off the weapon and then using that as like a support.
Yep,
that was a pretty clever idea and it looked really great. But I don't know. It's like, Chris, would you, buy something like that? Like, there's a lot of Batman collectors that I don't see picking that up. It's like, as cool as it is.
That's the problem I have with it. And I was talking with Matt and Dan too about it. Like, it's just that, like, I really like the concept. My favorite thing about it though is the Bane base. Like and Dan said the same thing. It's like, we love the Bane, but we don't love Batman as much. And so I know exactly what Prime One's doing. I think that they're trying to bridge that gap from everybody that does like the video game and anime stuff. It kind of bridges that gap. And so they're trying to hit that sweet spot. And I think it's specifically in the Asian market. I don't know about United States. I don't know how well it'll sell here, But
Yeah,
I think
I would be
that's
curious
their
how those
target.
pieces are selling.
Yeah, I think that's their
Even going back
target.
and looking at the piece over your shoulder, the Jimenez Batsuit Joker, again, another oddball piece. It's like they keep that Hellbat armor suit that they did, the big, again, really cool pieces, but it's like, who's coming up with the idea to make these instead of like different characters?
Well, and that's the thing though, is that that's what people want. But when it comes to buying them,
Yeah.
how many people, what was it, 100 Batsuit Jokers? You had it for a bit, you sold it.
Yeah.
Who knows if I'll have mine forever? I don't know.
But yeah, it's like you said, they're trying to bridge it. I mean, if you compare that to like rushing Riddler ahead, of course, something as crazy as like, these oddball pieces is going to look better than just like some Riddler standing on a, simple base. So I see where they're going with their strategy, but it's like, hopefully it's selling for them. I don't know.
I just don't know if it's, for me personally, I just don't know if it's Batman enough. But again, like I was saying to them, like I really feel like that I did the exact same thing about Samurai. Like I didn't get it. I didn't understand Samurai Batman. I was like, who would buy that? Like obviously XM doesn't have like the real DC license because they couldn't do comic book stuff. They would just do their own stuff. And then that obviously changed over time. But then I got one in hand. I'm like, holy crap, this is actually really amazing. Is it Batman? Yes. Is it still Samurai? But there was enough Batman there for me to say, okay, I get it, but somebody else seeing it, they might not understand it, especially like Shugo and some of those other ones.
Kind of reminds me of the Batman versus that Joker dragon. You had that piece at one point.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're going into this like barbarian version of Batman.
We were talking about that with Dan the other night, and he's like, "You had that piece?" I'm like, "Not for long.
Yeah,
I think I had it for a month."
Well, I think it's going to be a low edition number though, too. I think it's going to be a low edition number. I don't see them printing, 1,000 of these things.
Yeah. So I was like thinking, like, how are these pieces selling? I mean, they look cool, but I have absolutely no connection to what they are. I know nothing about them.
Yeah.
Bill, you've had a chance to sit on stuff for a couple of days. Did you have any ideas about that piece or any of the other ones you liked?
That Berserk is a phenomenal piece of art, but I would like if I didn't know it was Batman, I would think Lord of the Rings or something like that. It's just, I'm gonna say it again, it's just not Batman enough. Like even with the samurai pieces, you could tell that it was Batman, especially there was one specific head. You could tell it was Deathstroke or Robin or Red Hood. They weren't that far off from the character where you knew who they were. This thing I would not know who it was. What I would think it looks awesome, but as far as like to put it in a Batman collection, like for your collection or even mine or Eric's, where we have the traditional rogues and it just wouldn't fit. Like even when we're talking about the Joker Dragon, you had that for like a month. It was in and out so fast, Dan didn't even know you had it.
Right. And that's the thing. Is like I agree with you 100% that I love the art.
Absolutely,
like the artistry of it's amazing. But I wonder, do you think that they would do any like companion pieces to kind of help that story along, or do you think it'll be a standalone?
If that one sells, they'll do more.
Yeah,
I could see them doing like absolute Batman because that kind of goes into like that, right? Where he's like walking around with axes and stuff.
I would 100% buy absolute Batman.
Right, but that's more Batman. You see him; he just looks like a bulky Batman, and he's like, okay, well, I know it's Batman.
That's more like Dark Knight Returns Batman-ish, kind of. That really thick Batman. But obviously, and whenever I first saw Absolute Batman and I saw the images of it, I didn't get it. I'm like, "Whoa, this is weird." But then when I started reading the actual story, like the story's great.
Yeah.
And I've only read just a small portion from Scott Snyder, so I'm anxious to read more. But I would love to see an absolute. What did you? I know Eric, you were talking a little bit about kind of being sort of ho hum on Freeze. Like what has you hung up on it?
Well, here's what's making me possibly want to buy it. I know I'll probably never see another 1/3 Freeze. I think this is going to be the only one, unless Legendary Beast Studios does it. But that'll be like 4 years from now. And I do really like Nora. I think Nora looks fantastic. And on my bottom cubes, I like to put like larger pieces. And the fact that they are like 2 big pieces that would take up a lot of space assuming that they would even fit down there. I like that idea. I just didn't like how he's kind of like off to the side. I mean, again, I get it. They had to turn his head, so this way you see his head instead of like, because the original art, like you said, it looks like Sean Murphy's art. And in Sean Murphy's art, he's like touching the glass and he's looking right at her. So you see that emotion of like him, kind of like feeling helpless and wanting to help her. It's where on the Prime One Piece, I feel like that gets lost in translation of the concept where he's just kind of standing there off to the side. So, I mean, it still looks cool. I think the suit looks absolutely crazy with the details. Maybe a little too crazy for my liking. Again, I would have to see it in person, but I think Nora looks beautiful. And yeah, I think it's going to be. The other thing is, it's like, I think it was Billy that said it during the show, because I did pop in every so often. How is it going to look next to other statues? Like mainly like, Chris, your collection or Billy's collection, where you guys have statue after statue after statue of like just a single character. And now all of a sudden you have like, although I guess you have other Dials in your collection, but I don't know. It's a different take. It's not, it's two characters, but it's not dynamic. It's kind of like more of like this sad looking statue, just like, with the two of them. So it's a different take on, Freeze.
Yeah, I mean, most of these were like museum poses, or like you said, there's some sort of action to them, where this is very much not that. It's very much like it's a sad, it's just a sad. But to me, that's the thing I love about the Freeze character, is that bad guy or not, like he's doing it just to save his wife. And so like that really captures that, and that Heart of Ice storyline. And it is different, but I think that's why I like it even more, is because, it is different. Now, I mean, there's nothing to say that they might, if that is the only version they offer, maybe they will offer, complete arm swap out where he is like got the gun, like he's fighting Batman, toward the viewer, to protect Nora from, or whatever. So I think there's some possibilities there. I think there's some creative outlets, but it could just simply be that. It could just be the hand up. But knowing Prime One, I think they'll definitely have some swap out options, and probably a pivoted head. Looking more at Nora, or looking more at the viewer. So I'm really excited about that. This perfectly sums up Namek. It humanizes Mr. Freeze, and it really does. And it just tells that story, and that story is done so beautifully. And again, it really comes down to that image by Sean Murphy. And again, I said this in my video the other day. It was really funny because I was talking with Johnny a couple years back, maybe now, and I said, I really want you to do Mr. Freeze touching the glass with Nora. And he kind of laughed it off at the time. It's like, could you even imagine how expensive it'd be, and blah blah blah. It's like maybe we could do it in 1/4, but he was just kind of poo-pooing me on it. And then lo and behold, that's exactly what they're doing. So I'm really glad, whether I helped influence that decision for them to even do that kind of pose. I'm hoping that I did.
Probably. I mean, it's pretty much the Sean Murphy artwork, except he's kind of like off looking away from her.
And I hope I did inspire that, because I think it's exactly what I think a lot of Mr. Freeze fans want. The price, maybe not. And again, I'm really shocked that they're doing third scale. But maybe maybe their third scales are still doing slightly better than some of their quarter scales have sold. Maybe. I don't know. Like City of Bane, I bet that one hasn't. Well, maybe it's waitlisted. Maybe City of Bane.
It's waitlisted. Yeah, City of Bane is waitlisted. Their Sideshow in a lot of places. So yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I guess there's been a lot of like Batman versus Killer Croc. So I guess maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's doing just as well. But thank you for throwing us third scale collectors a bone with that Freeze piece. And again, I've seen a ton of comments saying about 1/4. I will try to do some digging. A lot of people have asked if I can contact Johnny and beg them for 1/4. I think it's possible, but I don't think it'd be possible anytime soon. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't think that they would do them at the same time, because I think that would really hurt their third scale sales.
I think if the third scale sales, they'll do a 1/4.
Yeah. It'd be awesome if they could somehow get Nora to fit in front and behind him. That's so cool. Maybe the base could rotate a bit. Again, anything's possible with that piece. It is still, being tweaked as we speak. Martin says, give yourself credit, Chris. This platform has a voice that most don't reach. Well, again, thank you very much. Like I said, I always try to be a voice for the community if I can be, whether it's good or bad. But I know I know there has been some of my thoughts and some of your thoughts, some of the rogues' thoughts that we've relayed to the statue companies, and lo and behold, they end up doing them. Because, you know, we're all part of this community and we understand what people are asking for on a daily basis. So that's definitely a mission of mine, is to try to like put a little earworm in everybody's ear. Like, hey, let's get these characters. Let's try it. Cause I think people are asking for it. So much to the chagrin of some companies, because they don't like to take the risk. So
you know,
again, it goes back to
Freeze is a big character, you know, because of the suit and everything. Now you have like this cryo chamber, and I'm looking at my Arkham. It is ridiculously big. I can only imagine, like, I mean, you got to figure this Freeze must be somewhat the same size, because you know he's a guy in a suit with a dome on his head. He's holding the freeze gun. It's got to be. I'm not saying the exact same size, because I think the Arkham pieces might have been a little overscaled.
They are.
Right. Yeah. But still, like, it's still going to be big. Then you have a chamber. Even though she's cut off at the knees, she's still a 1/3 statue. It's going to be massive.
I mean, you have to think more along the lines of like the Batman versus Joker diorama. You have to start thinking in that mindset. It's not going to be. It's not going to be as big as that.
No,
but it will be very square and very, I mean, rectangle shape. It'll be very large.
And Superman, where, you know, Superman was kind of like coming on top of Doomsday. That, and then just talking about price. There were 3 different versions of that, and that was, I think, $2,500 to $2,700 for the 3 different versions of that. Right?
Yeah.
This thing, by the time it goes up for pre-order, if you just like think about it, everything goes up in price, right? Materials, all that stuff. The suit is so intricate, more so than a Superman suit or a Batman suit. So that's more work to be done. Now you're talking about 2 characters with the dome and this big base, possible swap outs. This could easily be $3,000 plus. Never mind the shipping.
Shipping's gonna be crazy.
Easy. Shipping's gonna be crazy. Probably, I mean,
you have those glass domes. You know they're gonna separate them, you know, away from everything else in the box. Make sure they don't break.
I think something that big is going to be plastic.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way to do glass.
Yeah.
Joker and Batman was 3 boxes, right?
Yeah.
So you could figure this is probably going to be in 3 boxes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you look at what shipping costs could be in a couple of years, because this won't be shipping for a couple of years. This thing could be pushing $3,500.
Here's the thing. I think you're light, because Matt here got the tactical throne. He got the deluxe version with the Batcave, 3 boxes, and he's over $800.
Yeah, I'm like
insane.
945.
No, Jesus.
So let's just say the ballpark is close to $4,000.
4,000.
Let's just say that.
See, they're not going to let that happen, though. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be 3,000 just because of the number.
It's not. Don't look at it today. Look at it in a couple of years when this thing is fixing to go up for pre-o, and then, I mean, I'm sure they already have an idea of materials and resin, which is always going up in price.
Sure.
Okay, and then they're already, like, you know, you start adding these things up. You know, I don't think they're going to make very, very many of them, because at that price point, some people are going to be priced out. Dan said it the other day. He said, "Oh yeah, you know, I like it, but for me, it's going to be an economical decision." You know, he's not going to pay upwards of $3,000 for it, you know, or, you know, this thing. So I don't know.
You know what, though? Dan is full of crap, because he hasn't been enabled yet. That's going to say, we're going to work hard on him. You know, we will.
That's him. Okay, fine. We can work on him, but other folks are just going to be like, no, that's just way too much. So
sure.
I think, like, you know what, this could easily be one of those 150 ES, you know, 100, you know, just like with Triumphant. Why is there only 130 of them? Because nobody ordered it when it first went up. You know, same thing with the one you just canceled. There wasn't very many of those. You know, before the edition size is set, it's based off of sales. They're not going to make these things and have them just sitting in the warehouse, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So off the bat, it just might be too expensive.
I think Triumphant was also bad timing, because Triumphant was very close to Detective 1000, and a lot of people purchased Detective 1000.
Right, but Triumphant was also part of a Diehl. You didn't have to display it that way, but it did. It is meant to go with the Penguin.
Right.
And the Penguin sold out.
The Batman versus Joker diorama, I think, was like 2,600, probably closer to $3,000 all in.
Still available.
So it's still it is.
It's still available because it has to be. It's not because that piece is not awesome. So what could it be?
Takes up space.
Space, right?
Space,
and the price.
So like and that was what, 2 years ago. So I do think that if Prime One was smart, they would price freeze. They've got to price it under $3,000. They have to.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be $3,000. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to put that label on it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be 26, 27.
And then you figure plus the shipping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the shipping, once you add that in, if just the price is 26, 27, once you add the shipping, it's going to be way over $3,000. I don't think about it like, okay, this is the price of it. We're always thinking about the shipping because that's part of it. It's not going to get to your house until you pay the shipping. So that's part of the whole thing. Matt just paid $800 something.
$940.
Well, see, I don't think about shipping.
How much was it, Matt?
Maybe I think of it differently, maybe. But to me, the shipping on no matter what we order, because shit at my house with all the kids, something's coming every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? But for me, shipping is just the cost of doing business.
It's the cost of doing business, but it's still a cost.
It
has to be considered. Like
when I go to Disney, I don't like, oh, well, hey kids, we're going to Disney now. You can't get shit, but we're going to Disney. No, it's ball out because it's the cost of doing business.
Right. It's still the cost. It's part of it, and it's something that you have to factor in. That's just how it goes. And when someone is considering this piece, they're going to be like, wow, how much is shipping going to be? And that might make or break you, especially when it's $800, $900. That's just the fact.
And that's the thing too, is like whenever I first started collecting, I was more of the mindset that Matt just said. Because like, oh, it was like $45 to ship a premium format. It was $45, and then it crept up to like, oh, it was $100, and that sucks. And then you get to the point now though, where if the shipping is the same cost as what a premium format would have been, that's a large chunk of change for most people. And so I agree with Billy on that. That's why I keep my spreadsheets. I keep track of how much I've paid, what my deposit was, how many points I've used, what shipping estimate is. Of course, that always freaking changes, but that does factor into what you're totally going to spend.
Tax factors in too.
Tax is even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like
to buy. Sideshow didn't have tax.
Yeah, that's why I like to buy from Prime One, is because I don't have to pay the tax.
They're also inflating the freaking shipping.
Yeah, so
you're not paying taxes, but you're paying it somewhere.
Yeah, so it's just this piece is, you're going to take a hit on this piece if you get it. I mean, regardless, it's going to be a lot of money, but I also think it might be considered one of the best Mr. Freeze statues. I think it's going to have a tremendous amount of presence. I love that they included this beautiful sculpt of Nora. I think they did a great job on her. But time will tell. It'll be really interesting to see what the edition size is when all is said and done on it. The Prime One pieces, there hasn't been very big edition sizes in the last 3 years. Has there been one over 300 or 400 edition size and anything lately? I don't
Tactical
think so.
I think it's
maybe Tactical Throne.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a small edition size though.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You guys keep jacking up the price when the companies are watching these videos.
That's
right. Under $2,000.
Yeah. It's like I'm going to predict right now that it's only going to be $1,000 plus shipping. So we'll just fingers crossed they'll listen to that. But so we've talked a lot about Freeze. Is there anything else that especially Matt and Eric that you guys saw even in photos of things like that? Morgan, I thought that was a phenomenal looking piece. I really like that one a lot. I think it would really pair up really nice with their Vampirilla that they did. But what else did you see that you thought was just from an art standpoint that you thought was pretty cool?
Those robots with the catwalks and the little
my son wants that. I texted him a picture. He's like, pre-order it for me. And I'm like, it's not even up for pre-order, genius. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to wait 2 years. So.
Does he know what that is? Does he have a connection to that story?
Yeah. He's got a so I can see myself pre-ordering that one for Christmas or for a birthday one day. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who got like the 3 Transformer statues this past Christmas. So it's like, you know, he's got the statue bug now. You know what I'm saying? Type thing like that.
That's awesome.
You know? So yeah.
That's awesome, but not great also because it's so expensive.
Well,
That's the
I'm
problem.
like, your job can pay for this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'll pay for shipping, but you can pay for this with your job. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But yeah.
Jargon 2, $5. He said, man, that BES Batman so big, 1/4 scale. Yeah, I don't know what he means. Are you talking about this? I'm not sure if you're talking about that piece. Jargon, let me know in another comment which piece you're talking about. But thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Eric, what else did you see that you thought was pretty cool?
To be honest, I didn't really look at all the other stuff. Just
way to show prep, Eric.
I know. I know we were talking about. I thought we were just going to talk about the DC stuff.
I'm just giving you crap. I wouldn't
remember the name of the other pieces anyways. I don't know.
I like that Wolf Predator that they did at the very end. The Wolf Predator. So
let me go look at it real quick.
Yeah, I'll probably be getting that day one. That'll be a day one pre-order because I've got the Jungle Hunter Predator. I was late to the game, but I got it coming from Japan from Prime 1 now. It's on the boat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
It's awesome. There was a couple of things I wanted to address really quick too, and I did a video on this. I think it was today's video, talking a little bit about the mistake I made of Prime 1 Studio saying that their Elite Master line was going to be a better tier. And I went on talking about how it's not really fair to the lower tiers, like it's going to be less quality. And God bless Johnny, their creative director, watched my hit or miss video, which I thought was really great. And he actually responded to a couple of points. And the first one was that the Elite is going to just be their standard. It's not going to be a tier. It's just that's what they're going to call it from now on. Just to kind of relay the fact that they're trying to take the paint applications and the sculpts to the next level, which actually was really cool because the actual sculptor that's doing all of the Elite line, they actually responded and posted in my my video today and said that, it was really cool for us to acknowledge the new lineup, and we're so excited. And so I responded and said, "What pieces are you doing?" And this sculptor is doing all of those.
Oh, cool.
All of those. Superman, everybody that they've shown so far, he's done. Because I was just saying, it's really, next level of what they're doing with their sculpts. It always used to be Hot Toys or Blitzway. Now Prime 1's also in that same category, I think, along with Infinity and Queen and some of the others, J&D. But anyway, I thought that was really cool that he chimed in. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
The other thing that I complained about with the my miss, and Billy can attest, and I know Matt can too, with those that watched it live, was the pacing.
Brutal.
It was brutal at times with the back to back packages. And Johnny actually responded to that as well. And he said that, they are trying to get as many eyes on product as they can. They wanted it to be a longer show, so more people will watch and create revenue on YouTube. And that's exactly what they did. They have a tremendous amount of views on their video from Next Level, in the tens of thousands. And so it's awesome to see. And so that's why they made it so long, is because they wanted to stretch it, to keep that viewership going as long as possible. Again, for revenue, and also, of course, eyes on product, which is what we've been talking about, how important that is. That's why we want them to go to conventions and things like that. But I did think that was interesting that he did chime in about that.
Did they group it like the franchises? Like, here's the DC stuff, here's the anime stuff, or they're like, here's Mr. Freeze, and then 2 hours later, here's
no, they did the DC stuff back to back.
Okay.
They did mostly. They kind of did some anime and then some video game and then back to anime. I mean, it was kind of. I don't really. I don't know that stuff.
They sprinkled in the anime all over the show.
Yeah,
I just went through all the pictures. Honestly, I'm not really blown away by any of the anime stuff. I mean, it's nice, but this piece looks kind of cool. Whatever this green blue fantasy piece is, but yeah, like Matt said,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
the wolf predator, the Transformers stuff. That stuff, I always say that's some of the best statues I've ever seen. Is like
Yep.
the Transformers, the aliens. I think like when it comes to details, those things are insane.
But again, I'd hope that with their next show that they do maybe just try to pace that just slightly different. Again, I am somebody that likes the behind the scenes stuff. I know not everybody likes that stuff. I'm the same way about Disney. Like I love the Imagineering stuff. I want to see the behind the curtain stuff. That's like really important to me, but I don't always need to see it live. I want to watch it kind of at my own convenience. So that's just one of those ones where, it is what it is. But I saw a lot of comments that felt the same way. It was just like, it's kind of a snooze fest there for a while. So hopefully that's something, because I feel like their past shows have been a lot better in terms of pacing, but I understand from a business standpoint. Yeah, they want to stretch it, and okay, they did. But I also think that they probably lost some viewers as well.
Their production value is top notch, though. Nobody does it better.
No,
Nobody does it better.
They are absolutely phenomenal. Like I always feel like the best in the business is the WWE. When you talk about video packages and just the way that they present their product, and so much so that every other sport has copied them. And that's been that way since the 80s. But I feel like in terms of statue collecting, it reminds me of WWE in terms of like they just put so much effort, and it just looks cinematic and beautiful and artistic. And I just really dug what they did. And I think they continue to get better with each show. But like I said, I just feel like some of that probably could have been left out and done as a separate video, and people would have still watched that were interested. But I do worry that you're in hour 2.5 and you're watching this 3 video back-to-back promo. How many people lost interest and didn't even see the wolf predator at the end? Because it just was. I mean, obviously we stuck around because we were doing a live stream. But if that was me at home by myself on the couch, I might have skipped it and came back to it or whatever. Like I just I don't really need to see this right now. So anyway, that was my only advice. But I understand again, and I do appreciate Johnny responding, because I think that's awesome that he actually goes in the group sometimes and responds to people. So anyway, I think obviously the 4 of us were very interested in the DC stuff. Mr. Freeze was definitely the biggest probably highlight of the night. Batman Who Laughs, King Batman Who Laughs, I thought was really cool. It was a nice surprise, especially since a lot of people like Stuart was saying that there wouldn't be any DC, and it's just like I just knew there would. It's like they're not done; they're just slowing down, and clearly they're still throwing us DC collectors a bone.
Well, they came out with a photo, like a collage of photos. Prime One did, showing basically coming soon. So these will be the ones that are up for pre-order first, and the Berserk Batman is in there, so he'll be coming up for pre-order. Then the Scorched Alien, then some anime pieces, and then the Jungle Hunter. The Wolf Predator. So Berserk will be coming up. It'll be as far as DC wise, it'll be the first one.
Yeah, I'd say I would guess Mr. Freeze. I'm just going to predict Q4, possibly Q1 of next year for pre-order.
Wow, you think so?
I do.
I think Q4. I think they'll. I think they'll probably do Q4 just because it's Christmas. They know people are spending money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hey, here's some money. You know what I'm saying? Type thing.
I hope so, because I just feel like they just, that's one that so many people are interested in. You have to capitalize on the hype.
Yep, exactly.
Because if 20 people in this chat right now want to buy it, but you waited another 1.5 years and there's all the other cool stuff that they've shown, that Sideshow shows or Infinity or whoever else, then you're like, now I don't really want it anymore. And they lost the sale.
Yep.
So capitalize. That's what we've been saying for a long time. Capitalize on the hype, which again is why, were you guys surprised that they didn't show the Hush Catwoman? I mean, with all the Jim Lee hype right now, with Hush 2.
I thought if they only showed one DC thing, I thought they were going to show that Hush Catwoman.
We're also guilty of saying the exact opposite of what you said, where we say, can you at least just show us what's going to be coming in the future? This way we can plan for our collection. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're showing us what's coming, but it's going to be a long way.
Long wait. Yep. That's true. So anything else you guys want to say about Next Level?
No,
No, I wish I would have seen Riddler though, but yep.
Yeah.
Well, and Riddler too is you
I
know,
wonder if
piece
he's
of
going to
it
be next level, with the
I
details. And all.
yes, they've already said he is,
Okay.
and it's that next level of paint. And again, Johnny sent me some renders, which some of them have been revealed already with his face,
Yeah.
and kind of like that detail. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that. I think that I'm kind of surprised that they didn't show a little bit more of him at this showcase actually, because he's a lot further along in development than Freeze is.
Well, that's why I didn't order the sideshow Riddler, because I'm like, I know Prime One is doing one, so it's like,
Sure.
I'd rather have the Prime One with the detail, than the sideshow. Put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can go in another topic, gentlemen, or we can go to look at photos. We've been an hour talking already, so what do you guys want to do?
Up to you. Don't matter to me.
What's the other?
What's the other topic?
I'm just thinking about this next level thing, like if it's going to make the rest of our. I mean, I still love the way my statues look, but remember, even when like Sideshow kind of like switched to like better paint apps and better details, and like we sold all of our collection to upgrade for the newer, better stuff. Like, are you going to do that with all your Prime ones? Like, oh, everything else looks like crap now. The next level stuff looks better. Me sell off all my old pieces.
I'm going to say no, but at the same time, like my collection's always revolving. Like, it's just, that's the way I've always treated it.
When I called you Saturday, Chris, I was literally, I'd boxed them up. I had sold Poison Ivy, 1/3 Hush, and the Jim Lee Batman Batcave version. So same buyer, he was like, hey, you willing to do a combo? And I was like, all right, what you offering? So made a great deal. And I was like, okay, it's one of those things where I loved them both, but like at this point, it wasn't oh shit anymore for me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, let's get some money and let's, got other stuff coming in, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So, so now I got a big blank corner, but that's where I was telling Dan, I'll put it on a rotating thing, but I'm going to put the technical throne right now, so you can rotate it and see it around, type thing.
It'll be awesome. Without question. Topic 2, we won't spend a ton of time on, but this was a viewer said, what would you have done differently as a collector if you were just starting out? And then we don't have to spend a lot of time on this one, but I thought we can kind of go around the horn because, we've been around the block for a while. We all have gray hair in our beard. Maybe Billy, not quite as much, but anyway, it's like one of those things where, we've made mistakes along the way. We have, definitely had our collections evolve over time. Just if you look at our backdrops now compared to where it was 3 or 4 years ago, looks very different. And so, is there any advice that you would give collectors out there that if you were starting out right now in 2025, what would you do differently, or what would you have done differently, even starting off back in the day?
Well, the fact that he's in the community and watching this right now is a great start, because when I started off with small little like 1/10 scale pieces because I had no idea like 1/4 even existed, and second I saw 1/4, I quickly sold off all my small little figures. So it's a great start seeing, like, be aware of what's out there before you start buying stuff, especially these days when prices are extremely high and it's hard to even sell something. So, back in the day, it was easier. You get something in, you didn't like it, sell it off. It wasn't too expensive. So just, I guess my advice would be is make sure it's something you really want before you get like invested into, like, have a plan for your room, like if you want to collect certain scales, certain franchises, have a focus of going into collecting.
I mean, we do say collect what you love. Like I always think of Delaney. Like Delaney always says that, like, he collects what he loves. He has a very eclectic, we always call them sanctuary pieces because, he just has pieces that just fit. Yeah. But it's just a hodgepodge of all different stuff, and he makes that work. Like that would drive me crazy because, like,
he didn't always
I have to have a focus. He didn't always do that. You're right. And so his collection has evolved a tremendous amount over the years. If you look at his old content, and you brought up the fact that back in the day, like, we didn't have 20, 25 channels of YouTube doing statue content. We didn't have social media doing statue content. Like, there was maybe 1 or 2 out there, maybe, but there just wasn't as many places to discover this stuff, like you said. So I thought that was an interesting point for sure. What about you, Billy? What would you do differently?
I didn't have the focus that I eventually got, but the rules have changed now. It's harder to sell, like Eric just said back in the day, if you had some pieces and you didn't like them anymore, or you bought it and you're like, I don't really like it once I got it in, you could move off of it. Today it's harder to sell with shipping costs not being what they were back then. That wasn't even, you didn't even think about it, but for today, I would say, have a focus. I started with 1/6. I didn't even know they were 1/6. They were just, 12-inch figures, and then I discovered 1/4, and then I had all 1/4, and then I kind of went more movie route, and then I had some comic pieces, and then I didn't like the way the movie stuff looked with the comic stuff, and I was just like, well, I don't think I could do that. And then you start watching some of the channels, and more you guys started coming along, and it's like, yeah, you should keep this separate, And then the movie stuff kind of got crazy, because if the movie bombed, why do you want a statue of it? So I was all over the place. And then, I went 1/3, but then there was all this DC 1/3, so they were bigger, but there wasn't a lot of Marvel 1/3. So since I was doing both, it just looked off. Whereas the Marvel stuff was all smaller, and there was more of them because I could fit more of them. So I was a mess. And then finally, like LBS comes along, there's 1/3 Marvel stuff, and then I kept I just kind of went more comic with a few movie pieces sprinkled in, but now I kind of got like more rules, because you have to be more strict today. So anybody coming into the game today, I would say have a plan, have a focus, and stick to it. Try not to jump around too much, because there's not a lot of margin for error like there was back 10 years ago when I started.
Have you changed your recent plan? Because I remember you sold a lot of your 1/4, and I'm noticing now a lot of new 1/4 behind you.
What are you noticing? You don't see anything.
I see it done. Yeah, I see a little Superman back there.
There he is.
And a Wolverine, and a Catwoman.
Sprinkling back into the room again.
Some of them crept back in, so some of them were so nice I had to buy them twice.
Yeah, that looks good.
Real quick, I'm going to interrupt you guys because somebody asked about the Riddler. So I don't know if this will come in clear or not, but
it's like good. An actor. That looks, it almost looks too good.
Yeah, it almost looks like a silicone piece. Like
it's again their next level where they're going to do some things like that. So anyway, it just gives you an idea if for those that hadn't seen them yet.
When you look at that thing, it says all in one. So I'm really hoping that there's obviously multiple portraits, and one of them is more comic.
There are multiple portraits. I think maybe at least 3. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Matt, have we heard from you yet? Do you have any advice for collectors?
I would just say when I first started collecting, and I'd watch. That's how I found I found your channel. Then I bought the first statue from you, actually. So, but I was like, why are these guys selling? I'll never sell. And it's like, now I'm to the point to where I'm more picky, because like my wife said, if it's not, oh shit, don't get it, Matt. But then so I'm more picky in that way, but then I'm like, everything that comes in, I got to think of resale. I got to be able to, hey, am I going to get off this thing? Because something's going to come along, just like with the Jim Lee Hush and everything else like that, I loved it, for the time I had it for 2 or so years, and then but it wasn't no shit to me anymore. So I was like, all right, I'll sell it. I'll make a good deal, make a combo, type thing. Cause I got other stuff coming in, type thing like that. Yeah. So I would just say, be picky, be particular, and you don't have to have everything, because trust me, if it's one that you're liking, you'll be able to buy it, down the road somewhere else, in the used market, what I'm saying.
And if you have a comic book store, go to a comic book store and try to see them in person, or sometimes at conventions these days, go to a convention, try to see them in person.
Don't buy at a convention.
Well, right. Yeah. Don't buy it at a convention. Yeah. They jack up the price like crazy. So if you can avoid that, please do. Definitely check out the Facebook buy sell trade. Like our group is BSC buy sell trade. Of course, there's eBay and other places, but please do not buy from a convention, because it's just nuts how much over they charge. But I was just going to say that, like, my advice is kind of piggybacking on what a lot of people have said, is like, collect what you love, have a focus, keep track of how much you're spending. That's important, especially in 2025, because every penny counts. Also, be patient. If there's a piece that you can't find today, just be patient, and hopefully you'll find it down the road. Also, I think my favorite advice that I am really hooking into is what Matt said. And it really resonated me with the oh shit comment, because it's like, if it's not the no shit piece, it doesn't wow you. It's going to be PG-13 tonight on the show. It was Matt dropping the F-bomb earlier. So sorry, kids. But anyway, it's just like, if it doesn't have that wow factor, I'm to the point in our collecting journey, I think most of us, is we're not going to go there then. Nope. It's like, and that's the next thing, is not only it should be an oh wow piece, but also, and I know this is not for everybody, but like, you can't get too attached to this stuff.
Yep.
Enjoy it as art on a wall, art in an art print, art in statue form, whatever art you're enjoying, but enjoy it for a while. And if after a while you don't even look at it anymore, guess what? It's time to get something different.
Yep.
And if there's something that's, you're just trying to scratch that itch, like, this is a scratch your itch piece for me. Will this one stay in my collection forever? I don't know. I don't know at this point. But it's one of those things where I'm going to enjoy it for a while and then maybe move on, but I'm not going to get too attached to any of this stuff. There are certain pieces that mean more to me. Like, again, the bat bike was special to me because Dan flew in for that. Like, that was really special for me. And just some of the pieces that I have autographed by the artist, like that means a lot to me. So those pieces would probably be the last ones to go, but I'm not attached to any of this. If I had to sell it all tomorrow, I would be okay.
I got 2 months on 0 a year, and it's out the door.
2 months?
2 months.
Okay.
I mean, because I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, it doesn't, I'm like, what is he doing with this thing, But because Grim Knight didn't last too long because he wasn't Batman enough. And he's very similar, guns and all this stuff. You got Batman on a dirt bike in the jungle, and I know what you like. We've been together long enough, It's not nitty gritty Gotham City. So when stuff has to go, he's gonna ride his bike out the door first.
It might be.
I don't know. I think you've held on to Batsuit Joker for a very long time, and that's like an oddball piece. So
and that's a cross-dressing Batman.
It is. It is. It's what did my wife say? Marilyn Monroe Batman, or it's
drag queen Batman.
Marilyn Monroe Batman was the Tech 1000. What did she say the other day? I showed her this yesterday. I don't know. Everything she says is
T-shirt Batman.
Like, T-shirt Batman. It's like, it's T-shirt Batman.
Summer Batman.
It's like it's just always funny. But I was gonna say the only person that'll be extremely happy will be JWR, who had first dibs on it. So we'll see if he ends up getting it or not. But I don't know. I'm hoping to keep it for a while. But again, my thing right now is just the display. I still haven't quite figured it out. So I'm hoping to be able to keep on some of these pieces. I also want to see how something like that looks next to the Killer Croc or the Tactical Throne, because again, those are these oddball fourth scale that I don't have really room for. So we'll see. There you go. Josh says, wait, no, Chris, hold off for 4 months. Okay, that's right. I'll at least hold off for 4. You got it.
He doesn't even have any third scale. Well, it's not really a third either, right?
It's not a third scale. It's just a slightly oversized quarter. Like, if you look at Dan's, like, his is right next to Batgirl, and they pair up really nicely.
Was it like the Batman New 52, like how that kind of size? Like, it was a little bit bigger.
I think the New 52 was slightly larger than this.
Really? Wow.
I do.
But it looks bigger because it's a vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the base is insane.
And then the base is big. Yeah,
the base is what makes it like so crazy. But it does fit on his shelf. It looks really great on a garage shelf, and it's just such a cool, like, it's just a badass looking piece. Like, it's really well done.
It's definitely looks great. But
I wish you guys could see it in person, because like I'm looking at it on camera, and again, I think you guys will have a better idea.
I've seen it. Well,
on the review.
I saw it at Dan's house.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. What'd you think of it in person?
I like the White Knight better, but
yeah. I mean, that's me too.
It's good. Like I said, it's not for me. Like I do the nitty gritty Gotham City Batman. besides the Batman Who Laughs, and it's just that one.
Yeah.
There. But yeah, like I'm
and
more
that's why-
grounded with the characters.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get this, because I was getting White Knight. Like, I don't need 2 Bat bikes, but they're so different. And really, again, it was just watching Dan's video. Like, it looks pretty awesome. I at least want to try it and see what I think.
Definitely.
I don't know. Like
But again, I'm not attached to anything. It's like if things go, they go.
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
if
but
you do
there's
that,
some stuff you've had forever that doesn't go. You know.
Right. I mean, if you look, there are definitely pieces, like the Sideshow pieces. I've still got the original Joker that was my very first piece that I got from Sideshow. I have bought back the Sideshow Poison Ivy that's right over here. So there's some older pieces that I definitely still have attachment to. But I don't know. I guess I have quite a few pieces that I've had for a number of years now that have stayed, but I've had a lot go too.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want? Any other advice before we look at pictures?
No, good.
We could probably talk for hours on that, you know? All right. Well, let's get to photos then. Hopefully this time I actually do it right.
Oh, let's see. Yep. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
So there it is. This is the one we're talking about. Mr. Freeze with Nora. Again, you could just really get an idea of how big this thing will be.
Yeah.
I like that it's rounded. I think that'll help because
Yep.
I think that'll take up a little less space. I think potentially it could be, if they do it right, since Freeze is all the way to the edge, I think it might be around the size of like the Arkham City Harley Quinn, potentially, which wouldn't be awful if they did it right.
Mhm.
And maybe Nora's slightly back on the base. So anyway, again, we've talked a lot about Mr. Freeze, so we don't need to say too much. Is there anything you guys would tweak about the suit, or do you like the way the suit looks?
I love the suit.
Yeah, suit's awesome. Looks like Schwarzenegger's suit.
Yeah, it's very highly detailed, but yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
And again, he is touching the glass, but
Yep.
he doesn't. He's not really looking at her, and that has
even notice
bothered
that.
some. And maybe if Nora was a little bit more forward on the base, that would work. But
Yeah.
to me, she looks like she's further back. And so, I mean, he could be reflecting, but I do hope that they have a pose where he is looking more toward her.
I actually like it because I think the word you just used, reflecting,
Like
he's
he's
just
like
reflecting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
In
just
the art,
thinking,
he's more like looking right at her. Chris,
Yeah, he is.
can you say it?
But in the art too, this works better as a statue because you actually see his face. If
Yeah,
he's got
you
a
don't
side profile,
You
it's
don't
not
see a
as good.
side profile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think
this,
if I didn't see the art, I would never care. It's just like nitpicking when I.
yeah, it's a nitpick.
It's fine. I mean, this thing's awesome.
But to me, it's like his head's down, like he's sad. It's like it's.
Yeah.
I just think I like this pose. I think I'm fine with it completely.
Yeah.
And then again, look at this. It's just beautiful.
She looks insane. Yeah.
she looks like Poison Ivy. The
Yeah,
one
kind
third
of,
Poison
yeah.
Ivy. Yeah.
Just really beautiful. And then again, there's the reflection.
Mhm.
But I'm very excited about the piece. So
Yep.
congratulations to whoever's able to get it.
That's insane. Yeah.
Do you think they would paint it up like regular skin tone colors, or keep like that bluish theme? I kind of like it.
It'll be blue.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks cool with that.
Yeah,
I
she's
like
frozen.
the blue.
She's
Okay.
frozen.
All right.
So this will be a very blue metallic looking statue, I think.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, she'll definitely be blue. This was the King Batman Who Laughs who we referred to. I think this sculpt looks really great. I love the Robin King that XM did, but God knows if they're ever
Yeah.
going to actually release that thing or not. At this
Nope.
point, it's not looking
Nope.
great. But I do like this one a lot. I think this is well done. I like the XM one as well, the King Batman Who Laughs. But this was a nice surprise. A lot of detail, and I really feel like if you didn't get the Batman Who Laughs originally, I think this one's a great alternative.
Yeah.
And maybe even better.
It
Maybe.
might be better. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be better.
I think it is better.
So it's just really well done, really well sculpted. And again, the Robins looks creepy. Again, there's just ZBrush renders right now, so they're clearly still developing. I like the big shards on the side. It'll look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing's crazy.
Here's Matt's Berserker right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see some more photos of that here in just a second. Another hit for me was the Lilith and the Morgan. statue. I thought this one's really beautiful.
Mhm.
There's somebody shared a video in my Facebook group they're in their store, and most of these pieces that you see here, not Mr. Freeze, but most of the pieces you see here are on display there in that store. So you get a really good. It's like an hour-long video, so definitely get an eye full of all these new pieces.
Cool.
Wolf Predator, again, a lot of conversation about this piece. Looked really good. They also had some other ones that had some buzz from the cyberpunk people. Again, I don't know anything about cyberpunk, but this was a fun diorama that they were doing, and also the one eye got some attention and again, this is part of that Real Elite Master line.
It was like when the director of this movie started talking. Oh my God, he never stopped.
It went on forever. It felt like 2 hours. Here's a good photo. It's just a screen grab, so it's not great, but it does give you an idea. So that Lord of the Rings piece back there is 3rd scale, and this looks like it's going to be quarter. And again, Matt did say Prime One did confirm it at quarter scale.
Yep.
But it's going to be a large quarter scale.
Look at that. Look at the axe. The axe looks as big as this person's head.
Yeah, I was gonna say the axe is like a whole nother statue next to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, I bet if you put the statue or the axe straight up, it'd be as tall as the Sauron back there.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like you have it next to the Sauron. It looks like they are. They could be a Diehl. Like that's how similar they look.
They are very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I look at it, that's what I think of. Like I think of him. I'm like, it just looks so much like that. But again, the Bane base with the giant chains around his neck, like that's really cool. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but the base underneath Bane is actually the bat symbol.
It's the bat symbol. Yep.
It's really, really cool. And I love the blood dripping down off the axe. That's nice. I like that it's not attached to the base either. It's separate. Like that looks really cool. So anyway, it gives you kind of an idea of size. Here's some better photos from the gallery. I mean, look at that.
Look at the teeth in the blood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just awesome.
Translucent.
That's what I said. Like, if I could just buy that.
What was that sideshow piece that was like a bust? You know what I'm talking about? It was like real artsy. It was Batman. I think they did like an art print too. You guys remember that one?
It was a Batman bust?
It was a bust, yeah. It was.
It was like a smaller bust.
It was. I don't know. It was like it was right from the art. Like they had like a.
It's similar to this theme where like he looks kind of like metal.
Yep. Yeah. It was all kind of different things going on.
Guy, he's actually in the group, I think, the Facebook group. The artist, I forget his name. It's got that metal look. It's very ornate looking.
Yeah, it was crazy. It kind of reminds me of this.
I forget his name.
And obviously, again, you got a couple of places where like he's got a bat symbol on his belt, bat symbol on his chest. So it's, I mean, there is Batman elements, but in Batman, bats flying off of his cape and stuff.
Off the cape, yeah.
I don't know if the average person that sees this in a room would think that's Batman. I wouldn't either. But I do love the artistry of it. Again, it just looks. I mean, look at that.
It looks awesome. I love the axe, but then, like I said, he's got this one where the sword is like he's doing it kind of like in front, and it's got just blood dripping down, and it goes into the base. It's got a lot of switch outs.
Yeah, it does. It's going to be awesome. But anyway, congratulations. I mean, look at the chainmail.
Yeah.
Detail on it. It's neat.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you get it, Matt, congrats.
All right.
It's going to be a 3-boxer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. Hopefully that cape's PVC. It looks like it is.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Excellent.
This was the in-store of the Morrigan. I just think she looks fantastic. I really like that piece a lot. So do the dogs.
Dogs love it too.
Dogs love it. And there's the other one. I don't like this one as much, but it's well sculpted. Here's Matt's son's new piece.
Yeah, that's the one he wants me to get him.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's really cool with the little people on the bridge there.
That's what does it for me, though. Like the people like working on him and all that. It's like cool.
It's really neat. And people down below. It's a fun idea.
Yeah.
And this was the companion piece to that.
Yeah, he saw that and he was like, "Oh God, I like that." And I'm like, "Well, to me, the other one looks way better." You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Me and Billy kept saying it looks like Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
There's
you have that wolf. Yeah,
wolf.
this wolf predator.
Look at that base.
Yeah,
Look
the
at
base
that
is nuts.
God.
Yeah, this looks great.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see where the alien's head is cut
Yeah.
off. Wow, that looks great.
I said it would be cool since he's got like the alien blood, you know, all over the base to have some like splattered up on his leg or something like that, you know, just here and there, you know, just subtle.
Yeah, there definitely should be more splatter on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Because he would
Just
definitely be
subtle. It
messy.
doesn't have to be, you know, crazy, but just to have some on his like boots or something like that, you know, type thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that would add a nice touch. Be simple.
Yeah.
But look at that.
Look at how big that bad boy is going to be.
95.3 centimeters.
It's like half of her.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Talk about cost.
That's going to be a 3-boxer for sure.
No doubt.
Because the jungle hunter predator that I got that's on its way is 3 boxes.
Jeez.
So yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the backside of the base. I hadn't seen that yet.
Oh, I haven't seen the backside. That's cool.
If I collected Predator, this would be like a must-have.
Oh yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, they've done just such a great job on all of these Predator and Alien stuff. I just think that they've just nailed these. Again, look at the texturing on them. Looks good. Yeah, congrats to whoever collects this stuff because this is really cool. Really cool. Then they also showed this one as well. I can't remember what movie it was from.
I think that's the problem. Nobody can remember what movie it's from.
Yeah, it's kind of an obscure movie, which is surprising that they did this, but they did interview the sculptor. Oh, maybe that's who commented today then, because I think he said he did this one as well. I'll have to go back and look. But anyway, really good sculpt.
Yeah, it looks
like him. Yeah, it looks like, yeah. So I'm really glad to see that Prime One's doing some great portraits. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, that's crazy.
It looks fantastic. They did also kind of reiterate that they're not doing silicone. They don't believe in that. So I'm assuming that these might be PVC heads. I don't know.
Yeah, I would bet they're PVC.
I mean, just to look at the hair, I would imagine that it'll be a very similar technique that Blitzway uses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Look at these. These are just nuts.
Yeah.
Massive.
These are the kind of pieces like you have to assemble it wherever you're going to put it.
Oh yeah, you can't move this thing.
There's no moving these things.
No. And especially like these collectors that have so many of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just. I mean, I think like my statues are big, but like some of these are nuts.
No, that Megatron, that old school Megatron, you know, on the very right, that's the one of the ones my son got for Christmas. Thing had freaking 200 pieces.
Oh my God.
I mean, my job was to unwrap each piece so we can make sure, you know, and he's just, think of the legs and like the body and everything. It's just like a skeleton figure, like a stick figure, and everything just kind of magnetizes onto them to make them bulky.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's crazy how they engineer these things and come up with like put them together.
So Matt, how big was that? Like, did you feel like it was as big as like a third scale, like, or bigger?
Oh, it's bigger than a third scale.
Like half
Wow.
scale.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've seen one in person.
Here, let me find a pic. Yeah, because that thing is massive. Here, let me see. Boom.
This is the new Megatron.
That does, the light ups look awesome on that.
Yeah, and I love the heat burn.
What makes them even bigger, like they're bulky, figures. It's not like a skinny character. It makes them even more massive.
Okay, here's the blackout. I'll show the blackout transformer, just to kind of show scale me next to it.
It's like the dining room table piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Jeff Morris piece for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
The size of the base. Oh my God.
the base is just, outrageous.
That's crazy.
But it's just massive.
Sorry, I have to go look on my phone to see what you're sharing. That is crazy. It's crazy big. Man, that's awesome.
Here, I'll send it to you, Chris. So you.
No, I saw it. I saw it on the.
Okay.
I just saw it on my phone. Because all I could see is the photos. I can't see you guys. This is an incredible diorama too. This is that new Kong versus everybody. Big pieces. Talk about big pieces.
You talk about crazy. Space Hog.
Yeah,
this is it.
Just really great texturing on these. Love the King Kong one.
Yeah, the King Kong one's the best to me. Yeah.
Just a lot of detail. And this is Johnny Pham, who we had a chance to meet in San Diego Comic-Con. He's related to Johnny, the creator, the creative director, and I think he's still working in their Canada office, I think. So I haven't seen him in a number of years now, but it's really great to see him back. And it really just, he's as tall as me. And to see these things next to him, like, it really just goes to show you the scale. He's
the smaller of all three of them. Where he's standing, I would like to see him next to the King Kong one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I like that piece on the right. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's the best one. But it's always really cool to be able to see the scale. To actually see it next to a person. Here's another example.
Yeah. Hey, you got a kitchen table?
You're going to need to reinforce Jeff Morris's table for this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
This one got some attention as well with all the aliens,
all
the face huggers.
That's part of their XL line too. So that bad boy is massive.
This is Romulus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. That's cool.
It's got an LED light up feature in his head too.
Where his head was cracked.
Yeah.
I think that's like, this is what it looks like. It's like, this is like the regular portrait. And then this is the cracked open.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe it's the same. Maybe that's the same portrait. Just, you can't.
It's just got an LED.
Yeah. It's just an LED light up there. Yeah. We can see the crack in his dome there. They do such a great job on these alien pieces.
Yeah. It's my favorite. So Alien, Transformers, and Predator. That's like my favorite.
So good.
Glad I'm not into it to where I need to buy it.
Yeah.
But it's tempting.
This is that Afterlife I told you or showed you guys earlier, and this is the diorama when you put it all together. Their last Next Level event, they just had like renders and stuff, and so it was cool to see it actually printed. And I know this one got some attention for sure.
I like this thing.
Yeah, it's really well designed. Tells a story. I like it. Especially like her in the front. I think she's cool. Good sculpt on her. But looks good to me. All right, we'll move away from Prime 1 for a bit. Since our last show, this one finally was revealed and went up for pre-order. This is the Loki premium format, a pretty pricey piece. What do you guys think about this one now that we've seen it all?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the base. Yeah, I like the base and the throne.
Since day one, I've always liked it. I mean, somebody did a custom of this like years ago where the throne is a little bit cooler looking. It's got like the sculpt of all the different heroes kind of like morphing and dying, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, for a licensed piece, this looks awesome. It's so similar. Like, it literally looks like the same piece.
I think it's awesome. I know some people were not happy about the price. But that's where we're at in 2025, unfortunately. Yep. It's like we just have to buy less, I think, at times, which sucks, but that's kind of where we're at. And this piece, I think, is a good example of where Sideshow's headed. I love that it has an exclusive because it's been a minute since Sideshow has been doing that. Like, they haven't been offering that option as often. So I like that they're giving people something different to choose.
Which Thor would you pair this up with? The Breaker of Brimstone or the last one they did that's on the Frost Giant?
Ooh. Probably Breaker, maybe. I don't know.
This looks pretty like even like the face looks really almost like realistic, like it's nicely detailed.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do another Thor to kind of go with it. But this feels like more like a standalone type piece.
The villain line next to your other villains.
I like the wood grain.
Yeah, looks good.
But it looks good to me. Congratulations. It is up for pre-order at Sideshow right now. It does have the spear and the helmet. I think you got those both with the regular version as well, if I remember correctly. But good looking piece.
Yeah.
Now bring out Man Bat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready for Man Bat now. This one was shown finally. We had some teases of her, kind of like drawings and stuff that they did at the 12 Days of Sideshow. But this is the first time we have a chance to see it fully revealed. I think this one's another great looking piece. What do you guys think?
I used to collect these comic book covers years ago before I got into statues. I know nothing about the characters. I just like the artwork.
Perillo is doing just to release the comic book cover of this exact one. So I think so I contacted him and he was like, I'll just send you some, sign them. And said, but I asked him, I said, are you going to be doing some prints of these? And he said, yeah, he's going to do some prints of this one as well. So he might have had something to do with the artistic design of it. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, at the very least, it'd pair up really nicely with it.
Yeah.
The art.
Yeah.
This is that succubus piece. It's finally shipping and people have it in hand.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, it does look awesome. There's two different versions. This is the one I love that it's got the blood coming up from the base, which looks really cool. But there's the flesh color one, and then the red is the variant the red one, or is this one the variant? I can't remember.
I think the red
is the variant.
Yeah, I think so. But this is the way it turned out, and I think a lot of collectors are really happy with her. Paint looks great.
Yeah, I like the wings, how you can see like the transparency through it.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of what we're going to expect with the Man Bat piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it'll be a very similar technique. Obviously, it won't be red. But I think it'll be brownish. Yeah. Tones of brown and black. So that'll look great on Man Bat. So anyway, this is the flesh color one, and then this is the red one in hand.
I think I like
that
the
red
other
is bright.
Yeah, I still preferred the other one way more.
Yeah, me too.
But this one still looks great. Just different.
Yeah.
Wings are definitely painted differently, but you can still see that translucency, which looks great there. And then it's got more of like the blood is black on this one instead of red. So a little different. I feel like it kind of loses something with the black.
Wine.
But still looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Paint looks good.
The red falls a little flat, but yeah.
It's a huge piece, man. Yeah.
It's not much you can do when you highlight it and shading red.
Because that Spider-Man piece is big.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it in the background there. Yeah, you can just tell how tall it is too.
Yeah.
Massive. Sideshow announced some edition sizes. 1250 on the Archangel, which I was kind of surprised, and 650 on the Harley. Were you guys surprised by those edition sizes? I feel like they're kind of healthy.
Not the Archangel. I mean, when this thing came out, I mean, you knew people were going to go order this thing. So the edition price is based off of pre-orders.
They've never done them before, so.
Yep.
I was surprised about the Harley Quinn getting so much since it's kind of a reboot, kind of. But
yeah, she was more expensive, and you get less with her than the original. But I'm really happy to see this because that, to me, I have had a conversation with a couple companies this week, just talking about sales and what people are wanting and what people are buying, and there is some wavering confidence in some things. And I keep saying that, it's just like one of those things where it's all, we're kind of in this downward valley right now, but I still feel like there's optimism out there, and there's still great art, and there's still people that want to celebrate that art. And when I look at numbers like this, I think this is a nice positive thing, where we're starting to see edition sizes go up a little bit. Obviously, that's not great for flippers, but I mean, no one's flipping anyway right now. So
Nope.
I'm really happy that the numbers are doing well, because that means that the companies will continue to be successful and continue to bring us great products. So I'm excited.
I still feel like all this stuff will do better and go up if the media stuff was good, if the movies were good. I mean, it went phase 1 and 2 of the MCU. It was white hot.
Right. But I had the same conversation yesterday when I was talking with some statue people, is that there's just so much fatigue, I think, over stimulated with all the superheroes for the last decade. All the companies doing the exact same character over and over and over again from like 5 or 6, 7 different companies. It's just a lot of fatigue. And so whenever you offer something new like this Archangel, it's nice to see that number. I think that, especially on the DC side, I think that Superman has to perform.
Yep.
And if it tanks,
it's not looking good so far. There's been like reshoots and
I know,
all this stuff, and it's not sounding good.
That's exactly what I said. And I'm like, if it does not do well, it's not looking great for DC. I think Marvel still has a chance. If Marvel gets this right with Fantastic Four, which I think they are, I think it looks great. And then, of course, I think they're going to start doing the X-Men stuff and all that. And I think there'll be another.
They've got so much stuff. Yeah, they've got so much stuff coming. When that X-Men stuff hits, I don't know.
Yeah. I just DC needs some wins, and I don't see a win coming anytime soon unless Superman does great. But I still feel like Warner Brothers is still a mess, and they have the best characters on the planet. And I just don't understand. I mean, that freaking State Farm commercial was better today than what they've been putting out.
You saw that?
They look great.
Yeah.
Compared to what they're putting out. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Let's move on to Star Wars. Let's talk about Thrawn here. This looks great. This one's on pre-order as well. It has 2 different portraits. Simplistic looking figure, but I still think it's cool.
Thrawn on throne.
Yeah, Thrawn on throne. I think a lot of people would like to see a Palpatine done.
Yeah.
They have. I actually had the original Palpatine on throne that Sideshow did years ago before I became BSC, and I loved it. So I would love to see them do another one, because I know a lot of collectors are kind of clamoring for one. I love that they did the actor portrait. That was a smart move. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
I think it's one of Sideshow's best actor likenesses in a while.
Yeah, I think so too.
So anyway, that one's already up for pre-order. Looks great. If you're a Star Wars collector. And this is, of course, outside of the Mythos stuff, which has been kind of their focus as of late. We got Stay Puffed here from PCS.
Wait, this comes with the buildings?
Yes.
Yep. Comes with the buildings.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
This one has multiple different portrait swap outs for the, you can see kind of the happy one there looking off to the side, kind of the angry one.
I might be in on this.
Yeah, this is pretty.
I'll just put him out for Halloween or something,
Is the building? It looks like the windows are empty though, or am I just seeing things? Maybe it's
no. There's like glass. I mean, I think it's probably stickers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's some of the different portraits.
Where's the angry one?
I think that one's angry. This one's like kind of angry, pissed off. And this, of course, will be the deluxe version with the multiple portraits.
Yeah.
But it's a fun diorama.
Yeah, we got the old school cop cars, the old school New York cop cars.
Yeah.
Use that as a book gun.
Yeah, so there's a pop can there. It gives you kind of an idea of the size.
That is insane. 18
inches deep, 27 wide, 29 high. So again, I congratulate Ant Adams for continuing to put some really cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
All right. So wait. So it's 20. It's 27. It's 29 high. So let's say a quarter scale Peter Venkman would be like 20. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to pair that up.
No, this would have to be more
Yeah.
like a standalone.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean, let's say that. I mean, man, Iron Studios did Ghostbusters in 1/10 back in the day, and I think maybe you can make that work.
Maybe so. Yeah, you could do that. Maybe some force perspective stuff.
Yep.
You could, but it's a fun piece. And they've also, you talked about Venkman. They've actually updated the portrait. I do think this looks better than what they did before.
Looks better.
It's better. It's still not
No.
perfect for me, but it's definitely, you can tell it's him.
Yeah, I think it's the hair.
So hopefully they'll continue to work on that. And paint obviously will help a lot bringing that to life, but we'll see. Had a bunch of releases from our friends over at Iron Studios. These are 1/10 scale. They're doing a lot of really great Disney stuff. Pocahontas from Disney. And I like the scale on these. These are 10 scale, but they're larger, where it's got some nice presence to them versus just an individual figure. Tow Mater. This one's a pretty good size one as well.
Mater.
This looks great. I have no idea what this is. What does that say? Saint Seiya?
Saint
Knights of the Zodiac.
Cena?
I don't know what that is, but wanted to share it with kind of Loki like. So that's that one there. Sorceress from He-Man.
Yep.
Not as good as Tweeterheads, in my opinion. I really like her on Tweeterhead.
Yeah, but what they do with these smaller scale is pretty amazing.
It really is. She looks nice.
Yeah, they just did the Zatanna. Looks
Oh, yeah, Zatanna.
Yeah.
I think I've got her here in just a moment. Got some
Reptile.
Mortal Kombat.
Reptile. Yeah.
He's got a head swap out, so that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
It's neat. You don't see a ton of swap outs from Iron Studios, but I think it's cool when they do them. It has Jurassic Park. This one's pretty cool with the girl climbing through the water.
Oh, that is.
Or whatever.
Oh wow, yeah. That's Bryce Dallas.
Yeah, Howard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I thought that was kind of cool, and this is kind of a little bit larger piece.
Yeah, that's cool.
Here's the Zatanna that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That one does look awesome. I'll give them that.
Has the real fishnets on it. It's got some nice flow, but I thought it's pretty cool they did fishnets on a 10 scale.
I had the who's this? No, never mind.
Sideshow or XM?
No, I was gonna.
No, okay.
I lost my train of thought. I gotta see the name.
Then they have another large diorama piece. They've, of course, done those for a long time. This is 1/20th scale, though.
Jesus.
Yeah, 1/20th. So it's very tiny people, but it's a pretty big diorama. If you look at it.
Yeah, it was them. Iron Studio. I had the creative director from the paint department on my show like a month. I was like a few weeks ago, so a month ago. Bruno Papa, really nice guy. It's
really cool. I can't even imagine like their paint staff, like how many people they have. They put out so much product. They also had the was it Mystique, which I thought looked really good.
Yeah, that one does look good.
Kind of similar to the Sideshow premium format to me, but I like it. Getting 10 scale there. And they had Spider-Gwen fighting Venom. Which looked fun. Symbiote. Tall piece. 13.4 inches.
And only 2 pounds.
Yeah, very light. I got a Hulk here. I don't know which version of Hulk this is.
It looks like Frankenstein Hulk. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got brown. I don't know which version this is. Maybe a video game version. Well, that looks good. And Mr. Freeze from Hot Toys.
Yeah.
So
the
it's good.
sculpt look really good on this one.
Yeah.
And the light up feature. This one will do well for them.
Yeah, I think so.
That looks good. Look at that.
That's
That's
pretty good.
dead on.
Yeah,
Really
I was
good.
gonna
That's
say it
really-
looks really good to me.
That's really good.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
They should have made it with his fuzzy slippers. That he
Yeah, that would have been fun. Iron Studios also had a Doctor Doom that they just showed this week, and I thought he looked good.
Yeah.
There's two different versions. There's this base right here, which I thought looked good, and then also, let's see, had that base.
I think a lot of companies are going to be doing Doom because
That's
of the
cool.
whole movie, coming, type thing.
Oh yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I think we will get a ton of Dooms, to choose from.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it would be smart. People love RDJ.
Mm-hmm.
Just some quick photos of some collector photos. The Batgirl or the Harley Who Laughs up there up top. That's the new one he just got. So I did get on the wait list and I did convert.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered her.
Really?
Do you guys think that was a good call? I still am not sure. I think she looks fantastic.
I think
think
she looks awesome.
I think you're going to like her better than the Batman on bike that you just
Yeah,
got. To be
maybe.
honest with you,
Yeah. And this is exactly how I'd have it. I'd have her right next to Batman Who
Mhm.
Laughs like this. I think they do pair up really nicely together.
mm-hmm.
I really like the regular unmasked portraits
Yeah,
better.
She has like 6 portraits, right?
Yeah,
she's got like a ton.
Jeez.
I like that one.
That was
Yeah.
good.
But I think she turned out really great with the metallic paint, especially too.
Talk about space. He's cutting it close with that ceiling there.
Yeah, I know. Got some people getting the Legendary Beast Superman in, and it's really cool to kind of see them next to Hush and also next to the Grim Knight.
Wow.
So
Hush is huge.
yeah, it's definitely an oversized statue for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I think most third scales are more like the Grim Knight.
Yeah.
Grim Knight's a little smaller maybe, but just goes to show you how big Hush is.
No, I have it, and I'm he is big, but I seeing it next to the LBS piece,
The paint looks really great on LBS's suit.
Yeah.
Well, not from that angle. I think it was the other angle. You could see the shading better on it.
See some of the blue highlights.
The back of the cape looks good because they have the Superman logo on the back, and it's all folded up and stuff, which I've never seen before on a sculpted cape.
I'm excited just for them to get this thing out so collectors can start seeing these pieces, and be excited about the other things Legendary Beast puts out. That's what I've told Jay. It's like you got to get this stuff out so people can see it.
Base is awesome.
And that's it.
That's it. Cool deal.
That's what we got.
Chris, you didn't see that Batman bust from Sideshow? It was I thought you'd have it. It's like $1,800. It's like,
are you talking about the one that was based on the art print,
I don't know what
the medieval one?
Yeah.
No,
that's
it looks
what you're
pretty.
talking about.
It looks pretty traditional.
Is that the one you were talking about earlier?
Hold on, let me blow you up here.
I was thinking about something different.
When did that one come out? Is it made of pewter?
I don't know.
It looks weird.
Yeah, it looks like pewter maybe. How much is it? 300?
1,800.
1,800.
For what?
It's pewter.
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask you. It's got an ES.
what am I?
It's got an ES of 300.
What am I missing here?
It's real pewter.
1,800.
It's only 17 inches tall.
What?
Yeah, is that Royal Singler? Is that who's making it? Royal somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
That's
they do all of that crystal stuff.
Ah, okay.
And it's just I don't
Like
You're paying for the name.
you're paying for the name. Yeah, you're paying for the name. I'm not gonna pay $1,800 for something like that.
Yeah.
But it looked cool. But
It looks good.
If they gave it to me, I would probably
shipping
it
should
out.
be cheap.
shipping. Yeah. Hey, I want to thank 165 people watching right now.
Oh,
Guys,
cool.
you are amazing. Thank you. If you guys would do me a favor, would you please hit the like button if you've enjoyed the show tonight? That definitely helps us and helps the channel grow. You know, the community has shrunk. I want to be honest. The community has shrunk, but I do feel like it's going to continue to go back up again. I feel like it is because of all of you out there talking about all this great art, shows like this, talking about art, and just being part of the community. It's the best thing in the world. And so I can't thank you guys enough for being part of this entire community, no matter who you support or what show you watch or what you buy. I don't care. I'm proud of you and happy that you're here with us. And again, like Jim says, don't hit it, smash. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up? We've gone about 2 hours tonight. Anything else you guys want to say?
No,
I'm having a huge St. Patrick's Day party at Eric B's house. If anybody wants to come.
Yeah, he messages me. By the way, I'm having a party at your house for St. Patrick's Day.
Nice. There you go. I'm going to be in Texas. We're getting ready to head down to Texas. I'll be on the beach and might do a live stream or something down there like I did last year. We'll see. And Matt, have fun in Florida.
I'll be in St. Augustine, Florida. So,
yep. Have a great time and have fun at Eric's house for St. Patty's Day, gentlemen. And I also want to say 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be doing our live auction show. So please join us. It'll be a lot of fun, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. A lot of MegaCon stuff. I think Dan and Matt will have, especially. Eric might have some stuff as well. And Billy, we'll see what we got. But anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your week. And probably tomorrow will be the Batman on Bike review. It's already up to members. And thank you to all of our members that are that continue to support the channel. I can't thank you guys enough. With that said, we're out. We'll see you in 2 weeks for Rogues Gallery Live auction show. Bye, everybody. Good night.